I'm Laura Messina, nutritional consultant, and I have my friend and associate, Linda Tai, who is also a nutritional consultant, and we're going to show a demonstration for you today regarding how foods affect your body. And Linda is going to be helping with the whole demonstration. We've been trained in nutrition and want to just share our love and passion for being healthy. And here you go.
Hi, thank you, Laura. As Laura said, my name is Linda, and I'm a mom. I have kids of 2 boys, and as I've been taking care of my kids, as you all can, anybody out there who's a parent can appreciate, it's a tough job. There's a lot of work to it, and as we get older, I've become more and more passionate about staying young, staying healthy, and it has taken me on this path to learn more and more about my body and how to stay healthy. I studied at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, so I'm really excited about it and excited to share this information. So as you can see, we have a table full of food here, so we're going to talk about the standard American diet, or the SAD diet, which I think is a great acronym because it is very sad what we've been doing to our bodies, but it's not your fault because we don't know. We haven't been told what we should and shouldn't be eating. We've been given a lot of misinformation. So we're going to try to clear up some of the misunderstandings today and just give you a little overview, a visual overview of what are better healthy choices. So let me just ask you a question for those of you who are listening. How many people can say that they eat 1 plate full of vegetables per day? And I'm talking about a plate like this. Do you eat a plate full of vegetables per day? How about 2 plates of vegetables per day? How about 3 plates of vegetables per day? I find that when I talk to groups, most of the time there aren't any people in my audiences who eat 3 plates full of vegetables per day. In fact, many don't eat 1. So ideally, you should be eating 3 plates full of vegetables per day. So let's sort of keep that in mind as we go along today in order to get a lot of the nutrients that you need in your diet. Digestion, just so you know, begins in your mouth, not actually in your stomach. It actually begins when you start chewing your food. Actually begins when you start smelling your food. Your digestive enzymes your mouth creates digestive enzymes and they start to break down your food. Have you ever been told by your mother growing up you should chew your food 21 times, 32 times, 50 times? The number always changes, but the basic concept is there. You really do need to chew your food well so you can start that process of digestion in your mouth. Then you're going to swallow your food. Obviously it goes down into your stomach. Your stomach secretes acids and breaks down the food into a liquid substance that we call chyme, and then it squirts that chyme into your small intestine where most of the nutrients are absorbed. Your small intestine is 21 feet long, if you can imagine, 21 feet long inside your body, right? And your large intestine is 5 feet long and 2.5 inches in diameter. So it's a long pathway for those nutrients in that chyme to be moving through your body. So you want to make sure you're in optimal health. I'm not sure if you're aware, but 80% of your immune system is located in your digestive tract. That's pretty big, so it's very, very important to have a healthy digestive tract. So let's get started in a typical day for the American diet. So we're gonna put some gloves on because this could be a little bit of a messy process for us. So we don't wanna get all dirty here with food all over us, right? So we're gonna put our gloves on and we're gonna use a stocking for our demo today because I think visuals are really important. I think visuals say more than me just telling you about what you should eat. So I'm gonna have Laura grab one side of this and I'm gonna grab the other, and this is gonna represent the sort of end path of your food goes in the mouth, right, and it ends up coming out in the colon, some of it in some form, right? So this is gonna be your colon. And remember what we just said, the colon is about 5 feet long, 2.5 inches in diameter, so this is sort of a good visual. So I'm gonna put that end in, and I'm gonna have Laura hold this end open. So you're starting your day, and how many of us, maybe do you ever find that the alarm goes off and you feel a little sluggish, you don't really want to get out of bed, you just, if I could just have a few more minutes. I used to set my alarm a half an hour early so I could hit the snooze button 3 times. I know there's no logic to that, but somehow it felt like I was sleeping in a little bit more. So I don't know, I know there's some people out there that do that too. But the basic thing, if you're feeling sluggish when you get up in the morning, feeling tired, that means you probably have an overload of toxins in your body, and it means you're acidic, which we'll talk a little bit more about. So it's something to pay attention to. So we get up, maybe you don't have a lot of time for breakfast, maybe you don't eat breakfast before you leave the house. If you don't eat breakfast, you're driving to work. What do you drive by? How there's a bazillion, right, of Dunkin' Donuts along your way, on your way to work, right? So you pull in because it's calling to you, right? America runs on Dunkin', as they like to say. And maybe you're gonna get a bagel or a donut. There's really not a lot of difference. Basically what this is it's made out of flour, water, right, and sugar. It's essentially paste. So what you're eating is paste. So, and the other piece of that too is that this is fried in hydrogenated oils typically, and hydrogenated oils are one of the most dangerous things you can put in your body. They're a plastic. They were actually developed by the soap industry to harden soap, and then the food industry found out about it and found out that they could preserve food for a long time and fry things in hydrogenated oils. And what it does in your body is it damages the inside of your arteries, so it's much easier for plaque and cholesterol to stick to your arteries and create a very unhealthy environment. And also trans fats, which are hydrogenated oils, trans fats lower your good cholesterol, which is taking the cholesterol out of your body and processing it through the liver to be taken out, and raises your bad cholesterol, which takes it out of your liver and to spread it out into the rest of your body. So you don't want that situation happening. So whether it's a bagel or whether it's a donut, you're getting the same results. Okay, so now you're gonna over the lips, through the gums, here, come on stomach, here it comes, right? Oh, but we have a little bit of jelly here because we want to get a little bit of fruit first thing in the morning. All right, so we have our jelly, which, you know, really isn't fruit, right? So I'm gonna stuff that in here. All right, yum, yum. So when it goes in the intestines, there's something we call peristalsis, and peristalsis moves the intestinal walls to move things through your body. But if you don't have a lot of good fiber going in, it makes it very difficult to do, and it becomes a longer, tougher process for your intestines. Now, with that donut or bagel, what do we have to have?
Coffee.
Coffee, right, exactly. We gotta drink our coffee. And what do we put in our coffee?
Cream and sugar.
Cream and sugar, right? But we put in the fake sugar, right? Because we don't want to gain any weight after we just ate a bagel or a donut. We put the fake sugar in, we put cream, and when we work in an office, a lot of times there's the coffee mate. Coffee mate is, you definitely want to stay away from coffee mate. It is all hydrogenated oils. That's all that it is. So here we're going to drink our coffee to go with our donut or our bagel. Coffee. I love coffee too. It tastes great, it smells good, it's the whole experience, right? But the problem with coffee is that it creates an acidic environment in your body. When your body is acidic, it provides this wonderful place for disease to grow. So we want to stay away from acidic foods as much as we possibly can, or at least balance them out with something more alkalining, which we'll talk more about as we go along too. Now there's other breakfast choices. I know a lot of people who do breakfast drinks or breakfast packages. If you look at those packages, there's often in the label you'll see hydrogenated oils, you'll see a lot of coloring, you'll see fake sugar. It's really not a healthy choice. I wouldn't recommend doing it. There's a lot of other healthy ways you can start your day other than carnation drinks or Ensure, all those drinks, right? Mm-hmm. And then yogurt. Now yogurt seems like a great way to start your day, and I'm not saying that all yogurt is bad, but you definitely have to be careful when you look at the label, because if you look at this label, and this is a tiny little yogurt, right? It's got some strawberries in it, sounds really good, but it has 21 grams of sugar per serving, which is one little, container here. So think about that. You don't want to put that much sugar in your body first thing in the morning. And then, what we're feeding our kids, we're giving them sugary cereals. Now, as a responsible mom, you look at this and it says more whole grain than any other ingredient. So you feel like, wow, this can't be so bad. I'm doing something good, and you're trying to pick out great choices for your kids. But what they do is they're very, very sneaky, right? So whole grain oats is the first ingredient, but then we have corn syrup, we have sugar, and we have more corn syrup in here, and oh, and also the marshmallows. So what they do is they divide the sugar into different categories so that they can say whole grain, there's more whole grain than any other ingredient because they're saying any other one ingredient, but there's actually, sugar is listed in 4 different ways on here. So there's really a lot more sugar, but we don't know that as consumers. They have a lot of tricky ways of making us think that we're making healthy choices when we're actually not. Okay, so now you're at work, feeling really healthy, right? So we haven't had any vegetables yet today, right? So we need to eat 3 plates full. We haven't had any fruit. We get to work really hard in our job, and then it's lunchtime, right? So maybe a lot of times I know people say, I don't even have time to go to the bathroom, let alone eat lunch. Or maybe I have only a half an hour, or maybe I have a full hour, but I really want to run some errands because I don't have other time to run errands because I'm a busy mom. I work full time. So we're going to go out for lunch, maybe do some errands. We're going to quickly eat a sub, right? Okay, so we're going to go to our local sandwich shop and get a really nice sandwich, which, you know, tastes so good. I used to love Italian subs, I have to say. But what are we eating? We're eating white flour, right? So again, it's white flour, water, probably some sugar in there, maybe even hydrogenated oils, depending on, you know, where it's made, how it's made. And then we have our mystery meat, because we don't really know where this meat has come from, depending on where you go, I guess.
Meat for sure.
Exactly, it's processed meat. It may not be raised by, or come from animals that are raised healthfully or given the right foods to eat. We won't go into a lot of detail about that, but a lot of our commercial farming with cows, they're made to stay stationary. They can't roam around. They're not eating grass. They're eating grain. They're eating corn. They're eating grain. So essentially, when you're eating this meat, you're really eating grain. And grain is not something we want to have more of in our diet. It's something we want to have less of in our diet. We are grained out. Grains have omega-6s, which are inflammatory. So we have so much grain in our diet, and this is not whole grain. This is processed grain. And then we have a little bit of lettuce, right? It looks so
vegetable.
Fabulous. We have a little vegetable starting our day. Exactly. Anything else in there? Oh yeah, some cheese, right? So some processed cheese. Again, it's dairy, it's protein, and again, you're not getting a lot of vegetables. So when you're eating this, let's hold up our colon again. You're eating this, putting it down in there. There's not any fiber here. You know, there's really no fiber going into your system. So, but it tastes awfully good, I must say. You know,
they know how to make it taste good.
They know how to make it taste good and make you want to keep coming back for more, and it makes you feel full, right? So it feels good because, like, well, I feel full, and so I can go back and I can work the rest of the day. Let's get some more peristalsis going here.
I've felt this full before.
You have felt this full? Yes. I have felt this full too. I don't do it anymore, but I used to. So now with your sandwich, what else do you have to have? You gotta have the chips, right? Because chips taste great. So now we'll put some chips, eat some chips here, chew those up, yum yum. And how well do we chew that sandwich, right? Do we chew each bite, 21, 30 times, however long? And before we swallow it, no. We chew it a few times, we swallow it down, maybe we're walking around, maybe we're eating it in our car. All very unhealthy ways to eat, which sort of promote not chewing your food and not being mindful of what you're eating. So there we've got our chips in there. And then, of course, to go with our sandwich and our chips, we have to have our soda, right? So Coca-Cola, this has 55 grams of sugar per bottle. So if you look at it here, I stuck it in here, the amount of sugar you would be drinking like this bottle. Yeah, so like a quarter cup of sugar. So you probably wouldn't say, hey, I think I'll just down a quarter cup of sugar right now, right? You wouldn't do that, but you are doing it whenever you drink your soda, and it doesn't matter if it's a diet, a diet soda which has the no calorie sugar. In fact, it's even worse because those no calorie sugars can be neurotoxins, and they can penetrate the blood-brain barrier, and they can cause a lot of toxins to be in your brain. So you don't want that to happen. And studies are showing that people who ingest fake sugar are gaining more weight than people who are eating even processed sugar like this. So, and I think it's probably because you think, well, there's no calories, so I can drink more of it. The other thing about this Coca-Cola is it has phosphoric acid. And when you're drinking this, it's going to leach calcium out of your bones. And so what your body needs to do is it needs to look for more calcium to replace the calcium taken out of those bones. So it's going to be looking, because your body's always looking to alkalize itself. Your body is very smart. And we keep putting these acidic foods in, so your body's looking for more calcium to neutralize the acidity in your body. And where it's going to take it from is a non-weight bearing bone. So typically your jaw bone is a non-weight bearing bone. So if you're having dental issues, maybe gingivitis, periodontal disease, it may not be that you're not flossing well enough. It may be that you have an acidic environment in your body. So here we go. Add some soda in there. Doesn't that just look great? I mean, don't you just can imagine that in your body?
Everything we ate here was acidic except for the lettuce.
Except for the lettuce, exactly. So, and think about what's happening here. Your body's at 98 degrees, right? Approximately that's your body temperature. If you left this food out on a 98 degree day, what would happen? It would rot,
yeah,
right? It would rot.
Good.
And that's really what happens in your body when you don't have enough fiber and it's slowing the transit time of food in your body. You have the danger of toxins being created, and there are no fences in your body. It's not like it stays here in your intestines. It's going to leach out into the rest of your body. So it's a very toxic and dangerous situation. So now you go back to work after eating this really great lunch, right? You have lots of energy. Can't wait to get back to your desk, right? And then you work, and it's time to go home, time to make dinner. And so, wow, that's the first thing you want to do after working all day long is make this great dinner, right? Maybe you have kids, maybe they have soccer, they have dance, they have whatever they have to do, or maybe you have to go and do something else. So I think a very popular meal for American families is pizza. Right? Pizza, we all love pizza. And pizza is great, but again, what is it?
White flour.
White flour, right? Cheese,
dairy,
paste. It's basically paste. There's a sliver of a tomato in there, so you have a little bit of fruit and basil and herb, right? So again, how many vegetables have we had today?
Not enough fiber still.
Not enough fiber, so let's eat our...
It's getting stuck again.
It's getting stuck. All right, slowing down. Not happy. Your digestive system is not happy. No. And when you get down to the colon, the colon is full of bacteria, good bacteria or bad bacteria. And this kind of food feeds the bad bacteria. And bacteria, basically, they set up camp, right? So they set up camp, and if you feed the bad bacteria, they're allowed to grow. And if they're allowed to grow, they will take over the good bacteria. And again, if you feed the good bacteria, they will take over the bad bacteria. And bad bacteria prevents your body from absorbing nutrients, and good bacteria will allow your body to absorb a lot of good nutrients.
It definitely affects your immune system, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here we are.
So full.
Yes. Right? So you have your pizza, and maybe you drink some milk, right? Milk builds strong bones, right? Doctors are still telling kids, have you had your 3 glasses of milk today? Do you drink 3 glasses of milk every day for calcium? Just so you know, milk is not the best source of calcium. It's not even a great source of calcium. Cows do produce calcium, but because of the pasteurization process, it changes the molecular structure of the calcium, and your body is not able to absorb it. It also, the pasteurization destroys the enzymes, and it destroys the omega-3s in the milk. So milk is not really a great choice if you think about it. We're the only species who drinks milk after going through the childbirthing process, right? Or not birthing, but
after we're weaned.
After we're weaned, yes. After we're weaned. And so other species don't drink milk after that, and then no other species would drink milk from another species like we do. So it's kind of an interesting thing if you think about it that way. And if you fed pasteurized milk to a baby cow for 30 days, it would die. So it's definitely not what their mother is producing, and it's not giving us what we need. And if you think about what do cows eat, or what are they supposed to eat to produce calcium, and it's greens. They're supposed to graze on grass. So greens are really the best source of calcium. So let's pour our milk in here.
Awesome. That's what I call leaky gut.
Leaky gut, yes. And leaky gut happens When you're eating, when your body has an acidic environment over time, and you're eating these kinds of foods, it damages the inner walls of your intestines, and that's what's called leaky gut, as Laura said. And leaky gut will allow those toxins to leak into your body. So you don't want that situation. And then, of course, because you've been working so hard and you want to treat yourself, you want to have a little treat, maybe a cookie, maybe some ice cream, whatever is your treat, definitely want to check the labels on that. A lot of commercial ice creams have over 200 chemicals in them. These cookies have hydrogenated oils. Again, you don't want to be putting those in your body, raising your bad cholesterol and lowering your good cholesterol, damaging your arteries, because you can never stop at one cookie either, right? You want to keep eating them.
People always struggle with their cholesterol. They don't realize that the carbohydrates and the sugars and the hydrogenated process really adds to the whole thing.
Exactly. And just changing your diet alone can lower your cholesterol, lower your blood pressure.
Pretty quickly.
Very quickly.
Usually within 30 days, there's some changes that happen.
Exactly. So here we go.
Oh boy.
Here is your visual of the typical American diet and what it does to your insides.
That's just one day.
That's just one day.
Yeah.
It's one day of going through. Think about that day after day, year after year. And the thing to remember too is every 7 years you have a new body. All of your tissues, cells, everything in your body have regenerated. Your skeleton, everything. All at different rates, but by the end of 7 years, they've all regenerated. So literally the food that you eat today will become the you of tomorrow. So it's whatever you eat is going to develop the cells that will become you in the future. So if you want to age more gracefully, have your skin look better, feel better, stay well, because you're always in motion. Either you're moving towards wellness or you're moving towards sickness. So it's always your choice, and it's not genetic. It's not genetics. That's genetics plays a very small role. It's really about our choices, and what we choose is the way that we're going to age and be healthy or not. The good thing is, right, is that we can reverse this. We can change this. We can change it today. If you haven't been eating well and you think, oh my gosh, I've been eating that way for years. I was eating that way for years too because I didn't know, right? But I'll tell you that once I started changing my diet, I started committing to it, and I know Laura, same thing, both of us, the difference is incredible, and which is why we are so passionate about telling other people that you can be healthy too, and you can feel so different, so different. So let's start with a new colon, right?
Nice and clean.
Nice and clean, right? Nice and clean, and we'll just put that in there. So let's just say instead of starting your day with a donut, a bagel, or some kind of simple carb like that, let's start with fruit, right? Fruit is a great way to start your day. Fruits and vegetables both. I eat both in the morning because if I'm going to eat 3 plates full of vegetables and fruit per day, I have to start first thing in the morning. And one of my favorite things to do is to make a vegetable and fruit smoothie. But let's start here with some fruit. Now, fruit, of course, has sugar in it. And sugar is not bad. It's just processed sugar, because when they process sugar, essentially what they do is they take out all the vitamins and minerals, and you're left with just the carbohydrate. That's not the case with fruit. The sugar in fruit is intact with all of its vitamins and minerals, plus you've got the fiber of the fruit, so you're not going to spike your blood sugars and raise your...
This looks a lot different than that.
A lot different than that, yes, absolutely. So we're going to put our fruit in here, right? And as you can see, fruit goes through a lot quicker.
You got water, there's
Right,
water
well,
in there and nutrients.
Exactly, your body is 70% water. So you want to, fruits and vegetables have a lot of water, so they're going to hydrate you. They also have enzymes in them, and enzymes are so important. We talked about the digestive enzymes and processing your food with enzymes. Very, very important. As we get older, we have less digestive enzymes, so we want to make sure that we're eating foods with plenty of enzymes. We always want to eat foods with plenty of enzymes because we want to not tax our system over and over and over again. So you get the picture on that, right?
This is why you have so much more energy when you eat this kind of food.
Yeah, and if you when you buy your food, if you wash it all or cut it up and stick it in a container, you'll get into the habit of eating that first thing in the morning, as long as it's ready and prepared. If you're somebody who wakes up late and doesn't give yourself a lot of time, right? So then you're gonna go off to work. Maybe you bring your lunch with you. Try bringing your lunch with you if that helps you make healthier choices, because I know when you go out for lunch, it's very hard to find something healthy. It's just really hard, and if you're really hungry, you're probably gonna go for the sub or chips or something like that. But I recommend eating a great salad, maybe have some lean chicken with it, a protein of some kind, or a vegetable protein, whichever you prefer. But doing that for lunch, and also for dinner, you need to do the same thing at dinner. Vegetables, fruit, proteins. This isn't a typical salad, but just simple for the demo today. Just wanted to put some green, orange, and red in there. Right, and again, vegetables, the same thing. They're full of phytonutrients. They're full of antioxidants. And our bodies are bombarded by something that we call free radical damage. If you've ever seen an apple, if you leave it out, it turns brown. That's called oxidation. That's free radical damage. And basically what's happening is that the molecules are losing an electron. And so what they do is they go to another molecule and steal its electron, and steal its electron, and steal its electron. So you need antioxidants who will give back those electrons to the molecules that are missing it. And that's what our fruits and vegetables do.
So these are anti-inflammatory, a lot less inflammation, and will help the disease process as far as getting rid of the diseases.
And they're alkalizing, so they're going to alkaline your body, not create an acidic environment. And when your body is alkaline, it's very difficult for disease to grow. And disease grows over long periods of time, so you may not know that you have disease, but if you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling that sort of foggy feeling, if you're getting headaches, if you have allergies, there's a lot of symptoms that start to happen before you know you have a major illness. So it's important to think about that. If those things are happening, trying to eat this way is going to make a major difference. Okay, so again, fruits and vegetables, right? So if we put them in, right, the peristaltic action, I mean, they go right through. And obviously this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but it really does work that way in your body, because all that fiber makes that peristaltic action work really well, and it's going to push it through one end and out the other, basically. And then, of course, water, drinking lots and lots of water. Water is important because we are 70% water. Our bodies are 70% water. So water is essential to our health. And that's sort of our demo. And we hope that this information will help you to think about what you're eating. Hope that you will add more vegetables to your life. It is a process. It's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow and be perfect. But the more you do it, the more you try to incorporate it in, even if it's just eating fruit in the morning to start, and then maybe bringing a salad to work at lunchtime after you incorporate the fruit, one step at a time. Also always incorporating exercise into your life, and also really good quality, very bioavailable supplements are also very important, because even eating all the right foods, our soil is very depleted, and if you're lacking just one mineral, it's hard for your body to absorb all the other nutrients and minerals that you need. So it's important, I think, to supplement, it's important to exercise, and it's important to eat very healthy. And thank you so much for listening, and hopefully
thank you, Linda.
We gave you some good information. Thank you.